Welcome back, my dear students. Another chapter, another unit on the macroeconomic. And we'll move today to talk about uh, the distribution of income and the reasons for income inequality. And this is another topic which will, uh, I hope that you will enjoy this chapter because it's actually touching every one of us because it's like we all living in a society and we all pay taxes. We okay. Uh, by the end of this chapter, you will be able to know what the meaning of the distribution of income and how it's distributed fairly or not fairly. You will be able to know the causes of the poverty. There are reasons or causes for the poverty. What are the reasons of the poverty? And you will know by the end of this chapter or this class uh, the government intervention tools to change the distribution of income, to try to make equality between the people, not to make the gap so much between the poor and the rich person. All the governments in the whole world always interfere with using policies, monetary policies. They are doing this to reduce the gap between the rich people and the poor people. Okay. Uh, the main reasons for the income inequality, why my income is different than your income, why I earn 200,000 per year as example and this never happened, and why you earn more than me 400,000 per year, why I earn 2,000 per year, 3,000 per 5,000, 10,000, whatever, and you earn 100,000 per year. What the reasons for this inequality? Actually, because people are different in risk taking. Risk taking means you go for projects with high risk. The high the risk, the high the return. The high the risk, the high the return means that you will ask for a high return or high profits because you are going in risky projects. The ability. Every one of us is having abilities and capabilities different than the other. You can do overtime work. You can do two jobs, so your income will be more than mine, right? And the wealth. You may be having heritage. You may be having something you had before, or you may win a lottery. So this is the wealth. Those are the three reasons why people are different in their own income, why income of you is different, the income of you is different than the income of me. Okay, how about what we call the poverty line, especially in Canada? Every country is having their own measurements for the poverty line or the people who are poor. The reasons governments do this is to classify the poor people so they can give them social assistance, they can give them money, they can help them in supplement, support them financially by money. Okay, in Canada, a household is considered to be poor. I am poor if I spend 64% of after tax income on food, clothing, and shelter. On food, clothing, and shelter. If I spend my money 65%, 64% of my income on the food and the clothes and the shelter, then I am a poor guy. Okay. The poverty rates are higher among unattached. This is also in Canada here. The poverty rates mean the ratio of the poverty people are higher in the unattached individuals, means the singles, than among families. So the families, they are more comfortable financially and they have more money than the individuals, except for single parents. But there is exception here in the single parents families with a female head. Unattached female, unattached female, and unattached young people under 24 have particularly high poverty rates. So they have a high poverty rates. The people like this in this age, in this denomination of age, they have high uh, poverty ratios. So the countries like Canada, they are looking always for the welfare for their own society. We call it welfare society welfare. So welfare society is one of the rules which the government play to try to ensure the economic well-being, to just reduce the gap between the rich people and the poor people. It's trying to reduce the gap between them by the social welfare. Social welfare, in simple words, means I'm giving supplements, financial supplements, to the people who need it. Okay. So this happened through transfer payments and personal income taxes. I have the tools. This is the tools of the governments to assist, to take money through the taxes and give it back in a figure of supplements and welfare to who need it. Exactly like you would take your own revenues or earns and you pay it on the other with the other hand. You take it with one hand and pay it with the other hand. That's what's happening. The Canadian government take the taxes and return it back in figure of partially, not totally, in a figure of social welfare programs to the people who are in need to it. Okay. So the transfer payment, like you see here, and personal income taxes are the most important elements of the Canadians' welfare society. In the whole world, there are principles for taxation. Principles of taxation means taxes are not imposed like this haphazardly or without any order, but there are principles. To impose taxes, there are rules. The government has rules to impose the taxes. Okay, so the first principle is the benefit received, because, as example, it will return to you back. What the government take from the taxes, it will return to you back in forms of, as example, I will do roads, I will pave more roads, I will facilitate more parkings, car parkings, or whatever. When I impose on the gasoline taxes on the gasoline or the kerosene, the ability to pay. Usually, the governments, before they impose the taxes, they check out the people's ability to pay. It's not fair that my income will be $2,000 and they will take 90% as taxes. Then they will leave for me $100. What I will do with the $100? So the ability to pay of the clients or the citizens is the second principle that must be considered by the taxes or the taxation units in Canada. We have now progressive taxes, which increase as the proportion of income increase as well. So if your income is 100,000, you will pay 10%. If your income is 200,000, you will pay, I'm saying examples, 200,000, you will pay 40%. The more your income go higher, the higher the income, the higher the taxes. The higher the income, the higher the taxes. Of course, the taxes is a proportion or a percentage of your total income, of your total income. Okay, so the progressive means higher the income, higher the percentage of the taxes. Okay, uh, so proportional taxes, which stay constant. This one stay constant as a proportion of income rises. Those are another kind which is stand still, the same. 10% means 10%. It never go up, it never go down, and never go up. But regressive taxes, which decrease as a proportion. This one decrease, not increase. This one decrease as a proportion of income. The more your income, the less you pay taxes. And this, so the progressive is the more you have income, the more you pay taxes. The less, or the regressive, the less, the more you have income, the less you pay taxes. So the personal income in Canada and other countries of the world, in most countries of the world, is a progressive, uh, means it will go higher. The percentage of the taxations will go higher when your income goes higher. Let's see now the questions of this chapter. The main resource reasons for income inequality means I take $10 and you take 100. Why this inequality? Why? Why this inequality? Because of risk taking and the ability. Your abilities are different, your risk taking, but I'm not taking risk. The wealth, you might be having wealth I don't have. This is why. Or all the above. Of course, the inequality because all the above, those two. So the answer is all the above. Wealth is more equally or unequally or non distributed than income. The wealth is usually unequally because something of destiny or faith, you didn't do anything in it. Okay, so it is usually, and the wealth as well. The wealth as well, with the meaning of the wealth of a nation, when it's distributed by people, it will never be distributed equally. It will never. Okay. Three. In Canada, a household is considered to be poor. We said 64% spent on the necessities of life, like the rent and the food, things which the people will never be able to survive without it. So it's like around 64%. Unattached female and unattached young people means single people high in the poverty rate? The answer is that they are high in the poverty rate. They are high in the poverty rate. Taxes are related to income in possible ways. So, what are the types of taxes? What are this very important question? What are the types of taxes? We have progressive taxes, we have proportional taxes, we have regressive taxes. And we said the progressive increase with the increase of the income. The proportional stands still, never increase, constant with the increase of the income. And the regressive is the opposite. So when your income increase, the rate of the taxation will decrease, one up and one down. So those are the three types of the taxes: the progressive, the proportional, and the regressive. So the answer is all the above. The question is what, by other meaning, the question is what are the types of taxes? So this kind of taxes, dots taxes that increase of proportion when the income, proportion of income increase or rises. It's the progressive one, like we said before. Dot taxes stay constant. I think this is the proportional taxes because we said the proportional will not increase, will stay the same, will never increase with the increase of the income. They don't increase. And the regressive taxes will decrease as a proportion of income. So the choice here, you will choose the regressive taxes. Personal income taxes, we said it's a progressive, means it increase, the rate of taxes increase with the increase of your income. As long as you increase income, the taxes you will pay will increase. If your income is 100,000, you will pay 10%. If your income is 200,000, you will pay 15%, and so on. The main principles of taxation, like we said, benefits received and the ability to pay. Are you able to pay? So the principles of the taxation means what is the one who set the taxes put in concern when he set up the taxes rules. What does he put in his concern when he planned for taxes and set and form the taxes rules. So he put the benefit receives, what you will gain from the taxes, and your ability to pay taxes. So all the above are the main principles of taxation, both of those two, the benefits received and the ability to pay. Thank you so much for watching me. Thank you and have a good night. Thank you.